Never a dull moment. Science stories that quietly draw you in.
Welcome to Vibe in Action. We've got another very special guest today. Doctor, could you briefly introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Albert Sung-soo. I'm a material scientist with a passion for the environment.
Ooh.
I heard you're interested in research for our environment and also future generations. So I'm assuming today's talk will be along those lines?
Sure, I mean, you've probably heard of the term carbon neutrality before.
Carbon neutrality, yeah. The term has been around for quite a while now, right?
Yes, exactly. Today we'll talk about a key technology that can accelerate this carbon neutrality.
I'm trying to live a carbon neutral, carbon conscious life myself.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, well done.
Whenever I can, whenever I'm given the option, I try to leave as little carbon footprint as possible.
Yes.
Where did my tumbler go?
Even a lack of a tumbler is more carbon neutral. You haven't even got a tumbler.
But I always carry my tumbler with me.
So today we're going to talk about a concept that's called carbon capture.
Carbon capture?
You mean like literally catching carbon out of the air?
Exactly right, yes.
I've heard the concept before, and it sounds fancy and all if you imagine like a quarterback kind of guy snatching it out of the air. But carbon is not a ball that we can intercept, so I never understood how you do it. I think we should capture the meaning first before we can actually capture the carbon.
Okay, we'll start with a video then.
Video with a V.
Can we do it together?
Sure.
Get your V ready.
All right.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Vibe in action.
Effect of human-caused climate change is overwhelming natural variability. So we're really seeing this emergence of unprecedented extreme heat in the region.
Wow, direct air capture facility. Will this technology really be a solution to the most defining crisis of our time? Peter, don't you think it's happening even more quickly than we feared? I mean, extreme heat, storms, floods, droughts, massive wildfires, and also disease spread. These extremities are claiming so many lives and they're devastating the ecosystem.
Yeah, and it feels like we hear it again and again, like the hottest temperature in a century or the heaviest rainfall since records began. And then it's broken again and again and again. And the main cause of all of this is carbon, right?
Definitely, most for sure. There have been many recent reports by environmental agencies that carbon emissions have been reaching their peak all throughout these last few decades. And all of these, there are predictions about how this issue will even get worse in the future.
Oh no.
Oh gosh, I hear people already saying they're so afraid to have another record hot summer this year.
Please no.
Because that will naturally lead to more hours of AC usage and then to more carbon emissions and a downward spiral. So what should we do? But we have no one else to blame but ourselves because all this is driven by us humans,
I assume.
right?
Sure. So millions of years ago, plants absorbed carbon dioxide and stored it underground. However, more recently, due to industrialization, we've been extracting these carbon-based materials out of the ground and use them for fuel, such as fossil fuels.
Yeah, like coal and oil.
Yes.
We've been burning so much fossil fuel so far.
But it's not like we can say, okay, let's eradicate carbon and carbon dioxide from our daily lives. Let's just ride horses and have carriages again. It's not going to happen, right? And we can't go back to like hunting. There's going to be intensive farming. So it seems like there's no solution.
Most definitely. We're definitely in a transitional period where we have to reduce our dependence on fossil fuels while increasing our use in renewable energy. In this transitional period, we can't fully give up the convenience of fossil fuels. This is where carbon capture, or CCS, comes into play.
I know CC is carbon capture, but what does CCS stand for?
Carbon capture and storage. As the name suggests, it's a technology where we actually take that carbon and put it back into the ground.
Oh, so you can not only capture the carbon dioxide, but you can also store it safely and permanently somewhere deep so that it doesn't run away. But how is it possible that you can physically capture CO2? We're not playing frisbee here. And it is a gas that is spread out all across the air. How exactly does carbon capture work?
There are many different methods that researchers are currently working on, but the most common one is to use amine-based solvents. So they chemically can bind CO2 to these materials, and then with the addition of heat, we can extract them and then put them back into the ground.
We commit to scaling carbon removal to gigaton in order to eventually have a chance to alter history.
Well, once we've gone through all that effort to separate out the carbon dioxide, we need to make sure it doesn't escape and it's stored properly. So where exactly are we storing it?
Sure, one of the most ideal places to actually store these CO2 emissions are deep within the saline aquifers beneath the seabed. In Korea's case, starting in 2028, CO2 will be stored in the Donghae gas field off the coast of Ulsan. In this gas field, which previously used to produce natural gas, is now depleted, and so it's an ideal place to just store the carbon back where it originated from.
Back to where it came from in the first place.
But I'm completely ignorant when it comes to sense of scale. So to me, the sky is so vast and unlimited, whereas the space and the seabed is limited, just like my closet. I can't keep all my clothes in my closet. It is about to explore. So I'm wondering, do you have enough capacity down there under the water? The emissions will keep rising and rising.
Sure, that's a key, limitation when it comes to carbon storage. And so there's a strong focus on CCU, actually turning the captured carbon into useful materials.
CCU?
Exactly. We just learned CCS where the S was storage. So what's CCU?
Carbon capture and utilization. So it's literally taking carbon, capturing it, and putting it to use. And so what do you think we could make with carbon dioxide?
Well, we tend to look at carbon dioxide like it's an arch enemy.
It's a waste, isn't it?
Yeah. If you want me to change my point of view and make it into something useful, can't you rewind the journey of the carbon dioxide that's already emitted in the atmosphere? You mentioned that huge amount of it came from coal and oil that had been buried underground. So is it maybe possible to reverse that and transform it back into those kinds of fuels?
That's exactly correct. We can actually reverse that process in turning CO2 back into fossil fuels or other materials that we can use in everyday lives.
Oh, that kind of makes sense, I suppose.
Maybe we can make like soda or champagne using
put
the
the
carbon
bubbles.
dioxide.
Yeah, that's definitely an application
Is it possible?
of
I was just
CO2.
joking, but wow.
More recently, there have been efforts in trying to convert these CO2 molecules into aviation fuel or even fuel for our vehicles as well.
Wow. It's like recycling the carbon dioxide.
Yeah, or decycling, or upcycling, or downcycling. It must be some kind of cycling, I'm sure. But you mentioned fuels. Aside from fuels, are there any products that we could use in our everyday lives?
Sure, if we can tweak the process, we can actually make chemicals that are used in our plastic industry. So we can actually recycle and upcycle those types of molecules into monomers that can actually form plastics in the future. Yeah.
It's the first time that CO2 from direct air capture is being put into a product and will be on the shelves for consumers to select.
It's shocking just how many different things can actually be made from carbon dioxide.
Did you see that they're making diamonds out of the carbon dioxide emitted in
That's
the
great.
atmosphere?
Yeah.
And did you know that the more carats I buy, the more carbon emissions I can offset?
So you should be buying lots of diamonds.
I need that diamonds right now because I've been emitting greenhouse gases all my life.
That's really great. This technology is really great, but a major hurdle that we still need to address is how we can do this at scale and how we can do it more cheaply. Another issue is that we need to put in a lot of energy to actually separate the different kinds of gases in the atmosphere and to try to capture only carbon dioxide. This process is very tedious and energy intensive.
More energy consumption. That sounds like a big dilemma.
Yeah.
But before we move on to solve that problem, why don't we take a quick moment to go over the key concepts we learned today? We've covered mind-blowing technologies such as CCS and CCU pretty quickly. So just to make sure everyone's keeping up, let's have a short recap.
What is carbon capture and utilization?
Capturing and storing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, that's CCS. Using captured carbon dioxide as a new fuel, that's CCU.
Carbon dioxide, the main driver of global warming, is now being reborn not only as materials for cars and aviation fuel, but also for beverages, clothing, and industrial use.
With carbon capture, the health of our planet will just be fine.
That was a surprise.
When did we go to the greenhouse?
Except I don't remember doing that. That's our characters.
Wow.
And kind of explaining the complicated things.
We won't forget the CCS and CCU anymore.
Yeah, they're cleverer than actual us, I think.
Yeah. My AI avatar knows more than I do.
But Dr. Lee, at this point, I'm starting to wonder, how far has Korea come when it comes to like carbon capture and storage and utilization technologies?
Sure. From a technological point of view, Korea is very advanced in both CCS and CCU technologies, especially integrating them into pilot scales already. I think it's my personal hope that a lot of industry partners kind of scale this technology up so that a lot of these technologies can be integrated into our society as a whole.
I heard that there's a place that's conducting integrated research in Korea from carbon capture to resource utilization in the city of Yeosu in particular. You know what Yeosu is famous for.
The Pampara, the night
Of
sky.
course, yeah, the city is most famous for the song, Yeosu Pampara. But the city is also home to large-scale petrochemical and steel industrial complexes, inevitably leading to considerable amount of CO2 emissions. So we took a tour down to the coastal city to check where Korea stands when it comes to CCU technology. Shall we take a look?
Okay.
Get your pose ready.
Vibe in action.
Yeosu Jeollanam-do, home to one of South Korea's largest petrochemical industrial complexes. This region emits massive amounts of carbon dioxide every year. But now, research to turn that carbon back into a resource is taking place right here. This is the Carbon Neutral Demo Plant Center at the Korea Research Institute of Chemical Technology. And in May 2025, the CCU Demonstration Support Center was completed here as well. It is a facility where technologies that convert carbon dioxide into fuel and chemical feedstocks can be tested at scale before being applied to actual industries. In other words, every process right before commercialization can now be verified in one place at this center.
실험실에서 1g 뭐 이렇게 해서 실험 테스트하는 거라 그러면 실증 연구는 50g, 100g 내는 톤 단위 베이스로 해서 촉매를 평가하는 연구를 실증 연구를 합니다. 따라서 실험실 규모와 실증 연구의 큰 간격을 줄여서 최적화하는 게 실증 연구라 보시면 될 것 같습니다.
What's drawing particular attention is the liquid compound manufacturing facility. It was built at the Yosu Demonstration Center using technology developed in-house by Kuriktu headquarters. By directly reacting carbon dioxide with hydrogen, the facility can produce gasoline, naphtha, and even aviation fuel.
결국에는 항공유를 만들 수 있기 때문에 항공 분야에서는 획기적인 기술이 될 거라고 생각을 하는데 이유는 항공유 같은 경우는 전기나 수소로 연료로 활용할 수가 없습니다. 만들어내는 항공유를 통해서 비행기 연료를 주입하게 된다 그러면 실질적인 탄소 저감을 할 수 있고 또 하나는 성질이 기존에 쓰던 항공유와 동일한 성질입니다. 따라서 저장소라든가 이런 것을 큰 변화 없이 그대로 사용할 수 있기 때문에 항공 분야에서는 아주 획기적인 기술이라고 생각을 합니다.
In fact, late last year, Kuriktu headquarters in Daejeon successfully produced 50 kilograms of liquid hydrocarbons per day. Researchers are now continuing process optimization studies centered at the Yosu facility, while focusing on commercialization verification. Taking things a step further, researchers are also preparing ECCU technology, which directly converts carbon dioxide using electricity generated from renewable energy. Conventional CCU relies on thermochemical reactions. But ECCU operates large-scale manufacturing processes, such as petrochemicals and steelmaking, using electricity instead. Much like replacing gasoline cars with electric vehicles, it aims to completely transform the energy source of heavy industrial sectors. Behind these advancements has been strong support from both the central government and local authorities. In addition, the Ministry of Science and ICT has begun promoting a CCU mega project this year, accelerating the development of carbon utilization technologies.
지금 계속 연구를 하고 있는 고내구성, 고효율의 촉매를 개발을 하는 거고 근데 촉매만 개발했다고 해서 끝나는 게 아니라 결국엔 공정과 연결을 시켜야 되거든요. 그러면 이런 공정에서 열과 에너지를 활용을 하게 되는데 에너지를 최소한으로 쓸 수 있는 그러한 공정 최적화도 더불어 이제 이런 작업들이 필요하다. 결국에는 버려지는 CO2가 자원화되는 자원 순환의 개념이 되어야 된다라고 봅니다.
Beyond an era of simply reducing carbon toward an industry that reuses it, South Korea's pursuit of a more sustainable tomorrow continues at this very moment.
Nice. At first, I was a bit concerned about the extra energy it'll cost to do the hassle of capturing and utilizing carbon. But wow, it's so relieving to see this is being solved with clean energy.
Yeah, and then hearing that CO2 can even be turned into gasoline, it reminded me of a film when I was young, Back to the Future, where the car runs on like garbage.
Yeah, I remember they were making it using something like banana peels.
Yeah, that would be brilliant, putting that into your car.
Yeah, but they're doing it in a real world now.
Sure. In fact, these types of technologies are of critical importance to our future as well. The EU and the US have kind of targeted this kind of technology for strengthening carbon border taxes as well. It's a system where the more carbon emissions that you emit, the higher taxes you pay.
So economic and strategic benefits as well, particularly for Korea because we're heavily dependent on exports. So we're not just saving the planet, but also saving money.
Oh, it's win-win, isn't it? And yet I think individual effort is also important, right? Because if you think back to COVID, when the pandemic hit and people were like consuming less and using less energy, emissions really dropped down as well, right? So from today, I'm going to use more public transport and recycle more as well. I'm going to get myself a tumbler as well.
Thanks, Peter. Not just important for you, but everyone across the world has to really contribute to this kind of effort for it to be effective in the future.
Let's do it.
Hooray for science and scientists.
Yes.
I'm also feeling motivated more than ever before too, because right when I was about to lose hope and get so frustrated with all the human-made catastrophes in the environment, new technologies are fast advancing to fight against climate change. Let's finish it off strong in the hope of a carbon zero future. Why don't we say it out loud all together?
Okay.
Ready?
Vibe
in action.
Ooh, we did it. We recycled.
There's an old saying, there are no two suns in the sky. What's the reason you're making another one on Earth?
Purpose or objective, just for the energy. Much safer, environment friendly, and probably cheaper.
Oh, really?
Everyone loves unlimited buffet, so why not?
An energy buffet.
So we are using hydrogen, two hydrogen merged together as a single nucleus.
He made it sound like he's making a breakfast toast.
Just 1 + 1 equals a delicious sandwich.